And we are back. This time we'll be going for the more secretive
How
endings.
wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his coat. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Why can't I use the input? That's peculiar. I should be able to input here. Hold on. Let's begin again and try again. That's really weird.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ah, now it's working. Did I keep missing that for some reason? Whatever. Now we got it, and that's alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, so now we'll be going the normal way.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But we'll be doing something slightly different this time. Oh, hold on. Oh, come on. Jeez. I was in the right place.
Stepping
Ah. There we go. We shook off the narrator. And now we'll be going back. The narrator pretty much locked himself out. So he's not gonna annoy us anymore. For the time being. And the door opened. Loading screen. You are now leaving. Oh, fantastic, the elevators flew open. Escape pod, bay, floor, 760. Fantastic. That's a lot of floors. Even a skyscraper wouldn't have this many. Prepare to walk a lot of stairs. Because this is going to take a while. I can't see anything. Ah. Didn't really think I'd need to up the brightness settings for this game, but apparently I should have done so. Escape. And it just resets. Fantastic. So, that's the escape ending. Pretty underwhelming, to be honest. You'd think something would happen when you step into the escape pod, but apparently not. So, next up is the last input on Stanley's desk. Let's do this. And thus, we arrive in heaven. Button heaven. The polar opposite of bullet hell. Just look at all these glorious buttons. 6 rows of a lot of buttons each. I'm not sure how many. I think it's 700 something. Truly heaven for Stanley. Not so much for me. So we'll just restart. Because that's all that's gonna happen there. So,
all of his co-workers were gone.
What's
what
next?
Could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
We can actually climb up to here. And then leave straight out of this window. And now we are...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are we sick of this gag? I don't think so.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
Maybe.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Can we just press this now? Nope, we can't. Alright, we don't have much of a choice then. We're gonna have to go back there, I suppose. We have to hear all of the narration after all.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Now, just gotta climb back on here if I can manage it. And back out of the window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Totally.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley.
Oh no.
Who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Is this over yet? There's not any lyrics anymore. We're just playing the instrument now. And it's still totally white. You know what? I'm gonna restart. I can't bear this anymore. This endless repetition of these few notes. Okay, so we're pretty close to the end. We've done almost
All of his
everything.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, what a coincidence. That's one of the fairly rare secrets you can see here. It's pretty much completely random when you can see that guy walking past that. It's not exactly certain whether that's a co-worker or maybe just another Stanley. The community isn't too certain about which one of these theories is true. Who knows? So now, I believe it was the store for the one achievement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, was this not the store? Hold on, let me check. It was door 430. Whoops. Well, 415, 430. It's pretty close, isn't it?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Does it truly? Well, fine, I'm gonna do it. Just for the achievement. You'll see. I have enough determination to pull this through.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
That's a lot. Well, we have time. Plenty of time. The video isn't too long yet. The video isn't too long yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118,
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay. Geez, the achievement description is really misleading apparently. This one. 20 clicks, here we go. You can probably hear me click
Great.
too.
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
And back we go. Where's X437? Ah, there it is. That's really weird numbering.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Ha, I knew it was part of the achievement. Just not the beginning. Whoops.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh, come on, really? That certainly is a valiant effort.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine? What copy machine? This thing?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I don't think we're getting somewhere.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Seriously? 419. Is this thing?
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
He's enjoying this.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Jeez, he really likes that copy machine. Where was it again? Not here. In the other room, I guess.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
Oh. Well, I guess it's not that misleading then.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Yeah, what was I thinking? So now we've got that one too. So there's one thing left we can do. And for that we need cheats. Therefore, let's open the console. SV underscore cheats 1. Wait, what? Unknown command? That's... Huh? Oh, did I accidentally type cheat and not cheats? Whoops. Wait, what's happening?
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
No. Screw you, Narrator, I'm not doing that. Let's try that one again. preventing me from cheating. Who does he think he is?
Whoa! Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room.
That explains
Again, the
notes.
point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
Okay, infinity is over. Let's restart. So those plentiful notes that are lying around on the floor are actually his table notes? I had no idea. Anyway, let's try again. Third time's a charm, as far as I know. Or not.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
All over the floor. Is he just gonna leave me here? I think he does. What's gonna happen if I do it again? Let's find out. I'm pretty sure that was the last one, although I'm not sure. Pretty sure, but not sure. Yeah. Good job, me. And I'm just ending up in the serious room again, and nothing happens. He won't even acknowledge me. Fantastic. So, I guess no cheating for us this time. Too bad. I think that's basically it about Stanley. Except for the baby game ending, but I'm not doing that for 4 hours. Actually, maybe I will. But first off, I'm gonna get the Go Outside achievement and do that genuinely. That means don't play the game for 5 years. See you then. But then everyone's gonna have forgotten about this anyway. See ya.